Communications Regulatory Authority, the State of Qatar. Join us as we travel through time on our regulatory journey that has resulted in a comprehensive competition framework, helping us address any anti-competitive behaviours and take the right measures to keep the sector in a state of balance. It all began with the establishment of ICT Qatar in 2004. A telecommunications law was developed and issued to create regulatory parameters to manage the sector. Once we felt the market was ready, measures were taken towards market liberalisation. This saw the issuance of the first mobile licence to Vodafone Qatar in 2008. The market potentials resulted in the introduction of Vodafone Qatar's fixed network services in 2010. The launch of the Qatar Domains Registry in 2011 provided businesses with a much-needed avenue for distinctly Qatari web presence. 2012 was a busy year for the broadcasting sector. QNBN was issued a fixed license. Rignet, QSAT Communications and Haris Salam were all issued VSAT licenses, and the National Spectrum Policy was also issued. Qatar achieved the major milestone with the launch of mobile number portability in 2013. The same year saw the first regulatory strategy issued and a public satellite license also given to S-Hailsat. To better position ourselves as a formidable regulator in the industry, the CRA was established in 2014, with a regulatory shift from retail to wholesale achieved. Also, the Consumer Protection Policy, National Frequency Allocation Plan, National Frequency Allocation Table, QNFAT, and the Regulatory Accounting System, RAS orders for Ooredoo were all issued in the same year. 2015 saw the introduction of the Code on Advertising, Marketing and Branding. A wholesale framework on interconnection between service providers, transmission and duct networks was also developed. In addition, findings of an insightful consumer satisfaction survey were released. A policy on competitions by industry players was issued, as well as the regulation on access management. The year 2016 has been fulfilling so far. More strides and achievements are being made. Fine-tuning existing policies to meet the current trends and the introduction of new ones remain requirements we continuously commit to. Dominant amongst these policies is the CRA's policy on competition. The policy defines clearly what the CRA categorises as anti-competitive practices, touches on the subject of the abuse of a dominant position by a service provider, mentions regulations governing mergers and transfer of control, and also outlines remedies for infringements on competition aspects of the telecoms law. The policy on competition, together with the MDDD, Market Definition and Dominance designation, form part of the broader framework on competition by the CRA. The MDDD basically draws up the process and instrument the CRA uses to identify service providers with a dominant position in a relevant market, in order to be able to exercise its authority to impose ex-ante-regulatory remedies on faulting service providers in that market. The competition policy of the CRA is also designed to address some specific horizontal and vertical agreements, with relevant case study examples in some cases to improve clarity and understanding. Some of these agreements include price fixing, example Gosselin Group and Portielgi v Commission; bid rigging, example Dansk Rorindustri v Commission; output limitation, sharing of markets and customers; limiting or controlling investments in or use of R&D; exclusive distribution agreements; single branding; resale price maintenance; limited distribution; market partitioning. As a mandatory requirement, all persons under the remit of the regulatory framework are expected to comply with the competition policy of the CRA. Reactions and commitment to the policy have been positive so far. The successful implementation is also partly owed to the recognition and attention being given to policy responses from service providers. Thank you for staying on board the amazing journey the CRA of the State of Qatar has had so far. We look forward to sharing more on the continuous gains being made in this regard in the coming years.